Nothing says Chelsea, Michigan quite like the Chelsea Clock Tower. Isn't it cool? Built in 1907. Hey everyone, History Mystery Man back on the trail. I came home for a couple of days, so I thought I'd slide up to Chelsea, Michigan. I had never been here before and heard so much about the place. The town was founded way back in 1834, but it really got going about 1850 when they built the first railroad depot, bringing railroad cars and commerce to and through the area. It was a happening place back then, and I gotta tell you, it's a happening place today. What a gorgeous town. Welcome to Chelsea, Michigan, where the History Mystery Man is on duty and at your service. Books. We love books. That's why we're going in. Ooh, awesome bookstore.
Isn't it nice?
It's beautiful. Is this your store?
Yes, I'm Michelle.
Okay. Hey, Michelle. If you would, how long you been in business here?
The store's been here about 18 years, I think.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you are not from Chelsea,
I am not.
unless I missed on the accent.
Than...
Where are you from?
I'm from Yorkshire in England.
Oh,
I've
how
run
interesting.
the store for about 3 years by myself.
Oh, what do you know about the building we're in? It looks pretty
The
old.
building is actually owned by the Masons. So they still have their Monday evening meetings upstairs where they kind of dance and make noises through the ceiling.
Oh, well, I'm coming back for that then. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
How is it that you ended up here in Chelsea, Michigan, all the way from England?
So my husband used to work for a company based in Michigan, so we moved here.
How do you like Chelsea?
Oh, I love Chelsea. Chelsea's great.
Oh,
It
I hear
is
that
a
from everybody.
Great walking town.
Yeah,
With
and
a
it's
proper
beautiful
centre.
too.
It's great. It's a
Got
great
all
place
kinds
to
of
live.
charm and character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how's it going in the bookstore business? Is it hard to make it in small town America?
No, books are the new trendy thing.
Oh, I like hearing that.
Yes.
So books are back in?
Yeah, they are.
So I'm cool again.
Yes, you
Because
are.
I love books.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks for chatting, man. You have a beautiful store. The
Thank
old
you.
tin ceilings,
Yeah,
it's
a
just
great building,
gorgeous.
isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wonder how far back the building goes. I mean, it's got to be 1800s at least.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there used to be somewhere next door as kind of like a stables.
Okay.
So it's pretty old.
Stables. Okay.
Yeah,
Hitch
yeah.
the horse, you mean.
Yeah,
Stables.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful building. Thank you so much. Do you have a card?
Hi.
How are you? Good, good, good. Is this the theater that Jeff Daniels started?
He did, yes.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Is it a new building or is it an old building refurbished?
It was an old building turned into the theater. Yep. It was a
Oh.
few things before, but in 1991.
But he made the investment to make it so? That's really cool. Does he ever come here and perform?
Sometimes he does do a concert around the holidays. He won't be doing that for a little while because he's on Broadway at the moment. But yep, he's around sometimes.
Yeah, that's very cool. How often do you have a performance here?
We do shows 6 plays per week when we have a show running, and that's Wednesdays through Sundays.
I gotcha. Is there a show running now?
Not at the moment. We're between shows, so the next one begins on April 4th.
And the name Purple Rose, where did that come from?
Jeff was in a movie called The Purple Rose of Cairo,
Oh.
and it came from that.
Oh. It didn't come from Dumb and Dumber.
No.
Okay. How long have you lived in Chelsea?
I've been here about 10 years.
How do you like it?
Love it.
Yeah. Hey, are you from Chelsea?
I am.
How do you like it?
It's a great community.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Beautiful town.
It is. It's lovely. Yeah, I'll bet.
Enjoy.
Thanks, man. Sights' Tavern. I've heard a lot about this place. One of the oldest stand-up bars anywhere something like that.
Well, actually, this is the last legal stand-up bar left in Michigan, because modern-day liquor licenses actually require that you have bar stools, basically to control capacity. But being that this place has been owned now by the same family for 102 years.
Wow.
Yeah, third generation. It's been in the same family for 102 years, so it's grandfathered in with an old tavern license.
I gotcha. That's interesting.
So that's why it's legal to not have bar stools. The bar itself is actually an old Brunswick bar. Before Brunswick started making bowling equipment and pool equipment, they made bar sets.
Really?
It's been an operating tavern since 1872.
That's a long time ago.
It originally opened up across the street where Chelsea Hair Design is. He was the second owner. Bought it in 1895. Sold it to the Seitz's family in 1916. In 1928, they got upset with the owner of that building over there. So they bought this building, opened up the taps, got a bunch of the local farmers a little tipsy, and they picked the bar up and carried it across the street.
That's funny.
Took 8 drunk farmers 6 hours to move the bar.
Are you from Chelsea?
I actually grew up in Chelsea. One of the reasons why the downtown thrives and as a community it's thriving is because of its location. It's an easy commute to the bigger cities like Ann Arbor, Jackson, Lansing. I mean, it's only a 45-minute commute to Toledo from here.
Right.
You have the white-collar workers who live in town, commute to white-collar jobs, even blue-collar jobs in all the major cities. And then you go about half a mile out that way, then you run into the farmers, the family-owned farms and all that.
That's an interesting mix of people.
Yep,
I like it.
It runs the gambit.
Yeah, that
Runs
makes
the
it even more
gambit
interesting.
from the farmer to the blue collar to the white collar to the, I'm not sure what's above white collar, but they're here.
That's so cool. Thanks for chatting with me. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
You guys are from Chelsea, right?
We're Rotarians of Chelsea, actually.
What, say that again?
We're Rotarians of Chelsea.
What? Ooh, that had some harmony to it. What is
Chelsea is a wonderful town. There's so
Hey,
much to offer.
What? No, Rotary.
Rotarians.
Hey, mister, who asked you about that? No, I'm kidding, of course. What's so charming about Chelsea, other than what's obvious? The town is beautiful.
Well, the town is beautiful, but one thing that really makes the town beautiful is that all the citizens participate in the town.
We
I
are
like that.
we are a bunch of hometown people, and we all stick together. When
Yeah.
there's a disaster or things to celebrate, we all come together.
It's kind of like everybody's your neighbor in a small town, so help out your neighbor, huh?
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah,
you can't walk
there
down the street without saying hello to somebody like Gary would do.
This place is so charming, I gotta tell you.
It's
so
a beautiful
cool.
place, and there's
It
lots
is.
and lots of little treasures.
Well, I think it's, the school system is vested in the children. I think that's just...
That's so important.
It is very important, and again, you go back into all the businesses, all the community residents, all participate, and one of the big things they participate in is the school system.
That's so cool. Are you you guys happy in Chelsea?
Absolutely.
All right, I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brothers James and Elijah Congdon migrated from Connecticut and settled here in the Chelsea area in 1834. The town was originally named Kedron, but Elijah renamed it in 1850 for his old Connecticut home, Chelsea. And the McCune House you see behind me, built by Elijah Congdon in 1860. So really cool history there, and that's now Chelsea's library. It's a beautiful building. Gonna look forward to seeing it inside. Entrance to the library. I guess you don't go in through the McCune House anymore, but this is sweet.
Digging it, y'all.
Ooh, This is like magic land for you, isn't it, Emily? A library?
I love libraries more than life itself.
I hear you loud and clear. The McCune room. What is that?
This used to be the McCune House.
McCune
So
House.
Originally, it was a residence, and then it was a boarding hotel, a boarding house, and then it became a residence again, and was donated to the city to use as a library by Catherine McCune. Well, it used to be 3 floors, so we took out the divider between the first and second floor, but the 3rd floor still exists. The public can't access it. It can only be accessed by maintenance. But I'm told that the numbers that used to be on the hotel room doors are still on the doors.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
kind of
We can't
nifty.
go see that, right?
We can't. I have no way to. I've never seen it myself, but I would love to.
That's so interesting. So, hey, are you from Chelsea?
I'm from Dexter, which is
Oh.
about 10 minutes away.
Okay. How do you like Chelsea?
I love Chelsea.
Isn't it? It's a
wonderful town.
beautiful city.
It is. It's a great town.
I mean, it's got all kinds of character and charm. Do you think in small town America that because there's less things to do entertainment wise compared to a big city, that people get a little more creative in how they go about their business and how they create their own reality and fun? And
Well, we definitely have a strong creative community here. We have a lot. We have the
That
Purple
you
Rose
do.
Theater. I don't know if you've been there yet.
the what theater?
It's called the Purple Rose
Oh,
Theater.
we just came from
Yep,
there. The
Jeff Daniels.
theater that Jeff Daniels started?
Yes. And
Yeah.
we just have a strong arts community here. So the library does a lot. We have Song Fest, where we bring in songwriters. We have the Midwest Literary Walk, where we bring in nationally renowned authors. We have a town festival throughout the summer, Sounds and Sights on Thursday nights. Bring in music performers.
We're gonna have to come back.
We're from Toledo.
Thank you. What do you think, Emily?
This is really cool.
Yes, it is.
I like the style.
Beautiful. This place is not only loaded with Chelsea charm, it's got all the old-fashioned barbershops, and there's like 3 or 4 of them here. Reed's Barbering. Pretty cool. What's so charming, Mr. Reed, about Chelsea, Michigan? Outside of this awesome little barbershop you have here.
Well, I think that it's nice to be able to still come to a small town and shop and still have that local small town feel when you go in. People appreciate you giving them the business, and they really do like to have you come into their store. To me, that's such a big difference. Sometimes when you go to bigger cities, you don't get that same feel of being right at home while you're shopping.
Well, you know what? I'm feeling right at home in your shop.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad.
I'm finding a lot of 3rd and 4th generation Chelsea folks around. They don't all leave.
That's true.
I mean, Jeff Daniels stayed, and he made
Yes,
it
he
big,
did.
right?
Hey, there's a picture of Jeff right there.
That's so cool.
1971 state champion football team.
Really? He was on the 1971. Where is he?
Number 80 right there. Randy Seitz that owns Seitz's. And
There's Jeff Daniels on the championship 1971 Chelsea High School football team, number 80. That is
John
cool.
Mann, the local banker, sitting right next to it. Here.
How far back does this building go? Do you know?
Well, I know this barbershop's been here since around 1930.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just kind of stepped into a small part in history. I've been here since. Yeah, did you hear Sue in 1931?
You stepped in 1931. You look fabulous, mister.
Thank you very much.
So but you have any idea how far the building's got to go back to the 1800s, late 1800s for
look
sure.
at this picture right here is from 1927. It used to be a hat shop where we are now today.
Okay.
And the building itself, I'm guessing from some of the other pictures I've seen with the wooden boardwalk that it goes back, like you said, to the 1880s, 1890s.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Main Street in Chelsea is so beautiful.
I
It's
agree.
sweet. Yeah.
And we have some really wonderful historical walking tours around town where you can look at a lot of the beautiful old homes.
Well, since I'm a history geek, I'll be coming back for that.
You will enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
Chelsea, Michigan. Dogs, welcome. Dang, I should have brought Rover. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Rover. Dogs, it did say dogs are welcome. That's a beautiful, beautiful dog. That's awesome. I love that.
She's the best.
Oh, she's beautiful. Anyway, just how's the business going here? Is it hard to make a go of it in small town Chelsea?
It's hard with the big box stores that moved into the area a few years ago, because everybody takes a piece of your action.
People don't realize that they aren't paying more for shopping with small hometown merchants in most cases. They just kind of buy the hype of the big box stores of sales all the time.
I'll tell you, I don't buy into the hype. In fact, I don't even care if I spend $1 more or a nickel more. I don't care. I want small towns to survive. Not only survive but thrive. They're important to me. They're charming. They to me they say Americana. So
that's right. And if you don't support them, they're not going to be here.
I'm with you, and that's why I'm here, because I want to keep Chelsea alive. This place, is it just me, or is this place charming as can be? It's gorgeous.
Well, we like it.
Where are you from?
Well, I live in Louisville now, but I'm from Toledo. But I've never been to Chelsea, so
really?
I've been wanting to come up here and check it out.
Voted America's favorite small town.
Oh, I can see why. It's beautiful. You guys.
My parents located here when they bought the small weekly newspaper, the Chelsea Standard, back in 1947.
Whoa! Your parents owned the Chelsea
Standard newspaper.
Really? Is that paper still alive, by the way?
No.
Oh,
they bought
it.
They owned it for 48 years.
No kidding.
It was an award-winning weekly small-town newspaper in Michigan, and they were the victims of a hostile corporate takeover when a guy with deep pockets was going through southeast Michigan gobbling up all the small-town newspapers.
By the way, that story about your parents owning the town newspaper for 47 years, that's fascinating. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
People still come in probably once a month at least saying, oh, we miss your parents so much. We just don't have a paper like we had then. It was our paper and just about us.
I bet it's kind of neat to hear that about your parents.
It's neat
though,
that they're remembered for something, working so hard at something they loved for so long.
That's so cool. I'm thankful you shared it with me.
We sell everything from bird seed, wild bird food, to critter food, dog food, cat food, all kinds of garden
and container gardening supplies, and getting more and more into organics and natural fertilizers and soil amenders and things like that.
How do you like Chelsea, Michigan? I know you're not from here, but how do you like it?
It's really just a perfect small town.
Yeah. I can believe that. And why do you say that?
We moved here when our first child was going to be starting school, because we wanted a kind of a safe, nurturing place for him. And I think all three of the kids really excelled in school. Chelsea's got a great school district. And everyone seems very happy. It's very family oriented.
I love it. So you feel safe in Chelsea, Michigan?
Completely.
That's a bonus.
Bonus
round there. I'll take that over anything, any day.
You forget how that's not the norm.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I could be walking my dog any time of the day or night and be safe. And besides, the schools are great, and the town is kind of blossoming, becoming a little more cosmopolitan. Not everybody likes that, but it's happening.
It's got an artsy feel too.
It does.
For sure.
That's right. That's really nice.
I was just, what do you know about the building we're in?
Yes.
Well, these photos up here are historic photos, and this house in the far left of this photo that was taken from the clock tower across the other side of the tracks shows the building from this wall over. It was a Greek Revival single-family house built on Main Street in the 1850s.
Seriously, this building goes back to the 1850s?
Right, at the core of our building. But it was picked up in 1889 and moved down by the depot to serve as a Chelsea House hotel and rooming house. The house was a hotel from the 1850s until 1889, when it was purchased by a man in Ann Arbor who owned a feed mill business, and he converted it into a feed mill in 1926. So we've been here as a feed mill since 1926. In 1989, this whole complex was going to be torn down and turned into a parking lot, which is when my wife and I bought it just to save it from destruction.
Ooh, big thank you
So we've owned
for
it
saving
since
it.
1989. Great. Thank you much.
Did you say your picture's up in the post office?
Yeah.
There's got to be a story
I
behind
always
that.
put one over top of it so they don't
Okay,
recognize it.
gotcha. So, Greg, the Glazier Stove Company, you were saying somebody came over from Europe with architecture from Europe and built this place?
Frank Glazier took a trip to Europe and looked at all the old architecture from the Renaissance and came back and hired an architect/builder out of Jackson, whose name was Claire Allen, to design this complex based on the images he saw in Europe.
And you said it had a gymnasium on the second floor. It was designed.
It was a basketball court on the second floor. We can see the old maple flooring, but.
And what were you saying? Like something about keeping people out of trouble, so they built a gymnasium. They built a place where people could go.
Frank Glazier built this building for his employees, so that the men who took the train out to work in Chelsea during the week and then took the train home to Detroit to be with their families on the weekends would have something to do in their off hours other than hang out in the local saloons and drink and gamble their money away.
Interesting.
So he built this for the welfare of his employees, which is why it's called the Welfare Building.
I was wondering about that.
Nothing to do with social services.
You know, you have to wonder. That's a very interesting story, because I thought it had something to do with folks on welfare, you know, but not so.
Right.
The welfare of his employees.
Right.
I'd say that guy was pretty magnanimous.
Absolutely.
Of course, this was also, in later years, the home of the newspaper
Correct.
that your wife's parents
For decades,
owned.
it housed the Chelsea Standard newspapers.
That's
And we still
awesome.
have some of the old printing presses in the building that my father-in-law used to use to produce the newspaper or flyers or tickets for the community fair. The newspaper was in here, and this was all wide open space.
So your architectural design is in this building? Did
Yes,
you?
this renovation is my work.
Really?
'Cause this was all wide open production space.
Interesting. Up here?
Well, this was all wide open. It was
This-
just a big storage space.
Okay.
And we built these one-story offices in to allow them to be rented out to generate money to continue the renovation of the building.
I got you. Now, do you own the building?
Yes.
You and your wife own the building?
Well, my wife and her sister own the building.
Wow.
I'm the head janitor, general contractor, and
okay.
general do-it-all guy.
You're the most important guy on this floor, that's for sure.
I'm Mr. Maintenance.
Yeah, well, good for you. I think it's fascinating that you guys have put so much of your hard work and elbow grease and time and effort into preserving this building. You said 1906 it was built?
Yes. And there's
I'm
an
so glad you guys
interesting
chose to preserve it.
sign. You see the Chelsea Standard
I do.
sign, the old newspaper sign, was painted over top of an old grinding company sign.
Artisan Knitworks. Time to go inside and check it out. Hello. How are you?
Good.
Is this your store?
Yeah. And
Wow. How long have you been in Chelsea?
Oh, about a year and a half.
Wow, you're brand new.
Yeah.
What's your take on this place so far?
We moved here, didn't we?
Yeah, I see
Not a
that.
bit disappointed.
Yeah, it's a charming little town. It's beautiful downtown Main Street. How do you see it?
Well, I think that's what keeps it going. They treat the downtown as if it were a business.
It was interesting. You said they treat the downtown area like a business. What
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
They're selective on the sorts of stores they try to recruit. They are mentioned in a book called Small Town Economic Development. It's a college textbook, and it lists, they're among the towns that's listed that did it right.
Really?
Yes.
I'd like to know what that formula is for doing it right. And I bet a lot of other small towns would like to know too.
One thing is not to have only restaurants.
Ah, that's
Certain
interesting.
businesses track to downtown. You need a good mix. It's like a mall.
How would you describe your business here?
We are a combination. We're basically a yarn shop. But we have other things. We have vintage buttons, artisanal buttons, vintage jewelry, some books, and we just started our own basically local card line, greeting cards. And we made the decision that if we're going to stay in business, we may as well be in a town we like.
Sounds like you like Chelsea a lot.
Yes.
And you mentioned a reference in the bathroom. Graffiti from 18-something? What do you see?
Right down, let me count it, right. And there's one over here, 1872.
Okay, May 1872.
Yeah.
Graffiti from 1872. That's hysterical. I love it. I'm glad it was preserved.
Yes.
And there's maybe 1892 down there. That's super interesting. So I couldn't leave without showing you the Common Grill. This restaurant, named after its owner, is absolutely beautiful. Built in 1893. The current owners have been here since 1991, but check this building out, built in 1893. Look at the hardwood floors, which reach back to 1893, but this building, this restaurant, the Common Grill, it's just beautiful what they've done with it. You gotta see this place. You should eat here too.
It isn't just now. I mean, they depend on that, man. They need it in the winter.
Yeah, they do. We have a lot of bluebird houses over there too.
Oh, yeah.
Do you make your own?
Okay, how do you like Chelsea?
I think Chelsea's adorable.
It's beautiful.